So, XXX Return of Xander Cage is a movie. And now it's turned the XXX series of films into a trilogy. Yeah, we really needed the trilogy of these films. And hope it doesn't do very well because they want to do a fourth film too, you can tell by the end of this movie.
I'm not gonna have clowns watch my back.
Who would you trust?
The good, the extreme, and the completely insane.
Hold on! No. What you want, I got what you need.
So it's directed by DJ Crusoe, who made one of the worst films of 2016, The Disappointments Room. And, it's starring a bunch of people, but mainly Vin Diesel and Donnie Yen. And Donnie Yen has the best scenes. Like, his action scenes are awesome. But also, like, they have some great action stars, like Tony Jaa. It's just from my favorite movies ever, action movies. He is one of the really promising action stars, which kind of got halted because of a lot of problems with his contract in his country with the crappy film studio and a lot of shenanigans that happened with him. But, he really doesn't do that much in this film. Like, he has a little bit, but a lot of it isn't kind of cut weirdly. And that's one thing, the film isn't shot great and edited great. Like, it hides a lot of the action. But, it is what it is, and it feels like it was written by an adolescent, that is going through puberty, and there's a lot of weird stuff with Vin Diesel, like, showing off his muscles and all the girls fawning over him, which is just so immature that it's just weird. But, some of the stuff I kind of got into, the balls to the wall action, that's so ridiculous. But it almost took itself too seriously some of the time. Like, you have to give, like, a movie like this, you have to kind of sneak into that level where, okay, we're having fun. We're not being serious. It's all just a goof, but it kind of went too serious sometimes. And another time it's so ridiculous it made the serious stuff even goofier and, like, stupider and, like, not fun. But, I mean, it still had a little bit of fun with the movie, but it's pretty ridiculous. So basically, the idea of the film is that secret agency, like the Bond agency, but called XXX, like the one, their head of it is killed, and they have to, using this Pandora's box weapon that sends satellites down, crashing into the Earth, and they have to steal the box back from this other team of people that stole it. And that's the movie. The film is bad, but, I mean, it can be fun. So I think if you're into it and you like a really stupid movie, you may enjoy the film. But for me, I didn't like it that much. I'd probably give it like a 6.75 out of 10. But now that's that, I have to do the top 5 most ridiculous things in this film. And at number 5 is uses of bulletproof vests. So, at a certain point, like, while the one girl is admiring his muscles, they put him on like a vest, a really thin, flimsy vest secured by Velcro that's supposed to be bulletproof. And throughout the film, like, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but not much. But, they're blasting all of these soldiers with, like, full gear in the chest and killing them. And at a certain point in the movie, one character with one of these thin vests is shot. And they're like, oh, I'm dead. Like, no, I'm not dead. And, this point blank with the handgun is shot. And then all the other ones, they shot, like, all, like, people in full armor. And these bullets magically penetrate all of them. But this one, point blank, this bulletproof vest stops the bullets and have no harm to them. And it's just, that's a more common thing in movies, but still, it's just stupid if you're going to have that as a plot point. Number 4 is Nina Dobrev's impersonation of Jar Jar Binks. And at a certain point in the movie, like, she's giving a gun, and she has to, like, shooting people while she's doing some stuff. And she's first like, oh, this is fun. And then she drops the gun, and the gun proceeds to shoot all of the bad guys, even though there's nothing on the trigger, and it's bouncing around and killing them. And it's like Jar Jar Binks from the Phantom Menace. Except that, in that one you can kind of see, okay, it's a laser gun. Maybe there's something weird that makes it repeat. But in this one, there's nothing on the trigger. If it's bouncing around, why is it shooting? And two, it's shooting like perfectly, and it's on the floor, but it's shooting up and killing these guys, the grunts. And it's laughable. So at number 3 is the Power Fist. It has when they're like, it's kind of like when girls like Q and showing them the weapons. But the one weapon it's like a power glove that goes in the fist, and it looks like something out of like a Final Fantasy game. But the idea is that it makes you punch like twice as fast and like, much harder. But how would it work? It wouldn't work. Like if you throw a punch, all the power comes from your back, your shoulders, your upper arms, your core, your legs. That's where the power comes from. But it doesn't come from your wrist or your hand. I mean, you might get a little bit of it, but this thing somehow does that. And I mean, I understand if you can do that, you can have the grip strength. Say that it increases your grip strength. But how would it speed up a punch or make a punch heavier or harder? Make it so you can punch through a plane of metal? It's just so ridiculous. But I mean, it doesn't. How would it work? Unless it has like rockets on the side, like a rocket propulsion. Like it wouldn't improve the speed. Like if it's not doing that, how would it improve your speed? Like if it's just like it doesn't make any sense. And at number 2 are motorbikes that turn into jet skis. And like you start seeing it in the trailer, and it's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in the movie, because it just wouldn't work. Like it's first, I mean, where would the skis like be on? That like where are they hiding? But then when they're in the water, like you see, they're like on top of the water. At first, how would they float? They wouldn't float. So I mean, these have to be going fast, but there's skis on the water on each side of the tire, and the tire is on the water. And how would they propel themselves? Like the tire is on top of the water, but the tire wouldn't be able to propel it. And they're not. If it was under the water more, you say, okay, maybe they have some sort of engine or something that's powering it. But they're sitting on top of the water and flying across it, and there's no way that you can make it work. Like I think they're trying to be like James Bond, where the cars all of a sudden turn into submarines. But that they actually show things for how it works. And this one, like they don't show anything how it works. It's like the director went to his kid and like, okay, we need some cool scene. What can we do? How about make the jet bike fly on water? It'll be fun. It's like I don't know how they come up with this shit, but it's so stupid. Oh, one other thing about with the motorbikes, and when the scene starts, they're at the club, and it's pitch black, middle of the night, and when they get to the beach, when they go into the water, it's midday, it's mid-afternoon, and there's no explanation for the jump in time, which is ridiculous. Number 1, the most ridiculous part of the movie, and this is the one that is basically the whole point of the movie, is the Pandora's box weapon. So the idea is that you can use it for spying, but you can also you can find a satellite and crash it on the exact spot. But I mean, I don't think they have how much would go into actually doing that, because it would need a supercomputer like NASA, because NASA would have trouble doing stuff like that. And actually, it's so funny, they have this little tablet looking thing. And the user interface is so stupid. It's like they have all the satellites around the world, and you're like, I picked this one, and it's like, how would they're flying across the world? How would you can pick which one? They're all represented on this little screen, and this little tiny thing has enough computing power to know all the satellites, and what are they connecting to? Is it connecting to its own satellite? I don't know. And I was watching this, it's kind of a reveal of some person that's doing it, and they never explain really why he's doing it. It's just some weird, because I want to. But he's sitting in this room with all of these heaters, and he's like sweating his balls off. And I was thinking, okay, maybe they're doing something that like somehow powering it, or how? You think you want to worry about it overheating, and I never explained why he's in this room like roasting, and you think you want to keep it cool, if it's ever overheating, if it has some sort of supercomputer. But no, he's just watching, he has a bunch of TVs on the screen, watching things around the world while he's planning where to put his satellite to fall. And the only reason for the heaters is that the sniper can't see him using a thermal camera. And like, how would he know there'd be a sniper using a thermal camera? Like, it doesn't make any sense. If you know they're coming for you, having this heater make it easier for people to see you. It's just so weird and random. But the Pandora's box thing, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's a tiny little tab, and like, someone made this. Someone had to make it. Like, why is there only one? Like, if you're gonna make it, like, you can make more than one. And it's like, how is it made? Like, it should be something smaller, something bigger than an iPad, or something like, or a Surface Pro. It's smaller than a Surface Pro. Like, that's how small it is, and it doesn't make any sense. But I mean, this film, you're not supposed to try to make sense of it because it's stupid, but it's just so ridiculous. And that's my top 5 most ridiculous things. But I wouldn't recommend this film. Don't worry about seeing it. But if you want to see my other movies and book reviews, you can check them here and here. Thanks for watching.